What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. It's another episode of Fight Talk with the BMA's basic MMA analyst. We're back. We're ready to give our thoughts on an upcoming big UFC 302, Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier versus for the lightweight belt. Before we get into that though, it's been a while since we caught up. So we're gonna catch up. We're gonna catch up, guys. If you want to go straight to the Fight Talk, check the description. The timestamps will be there. You can go straight to the Fight Talk and skip all the fight catch up stuff and get straight to the Fight Talk. But on that note, man, Chaos, how you doing, bro, man? I feel like it's been a couple of weeks since we caught up. I know you've been busy. I've been sick. We could talk about all of this stuff. But how you doing, man? How's everything going?
Things are pretty fucking good actually. Like you know when you gotta like just look at things and be like, you know what, like I'm doing all right. I'm constantly moving. Of course, things can be better, and they will be better. But right here, right now, like is a sense of calm and direction, and yeah, So I just kind of had that in my mind recently. I'm like, man, this isn't, and I ain't got that. But right here, right now, in present, it's good. It's good. It's good.
That's
So
good,
yeah,
man.
it's been good. I'm doing well. Doing
It's a
well.
good reflection. I guess it seems like you've been reflecting. And we should always be in that position because I think it's always like now, now, now. I'm like that all the time, man. Like my brain is constantly so I've put it out there in the universe that I want to quit my job by the time I'm 45. So like 6 years away, right? I want to move into
Yeah.
personal training. I just want to get out of this corporate world. So I'm trying to manifest that, but obviously I got to make it work as well with the work. So I'm constantly on Excel sheets, tracking my day-to-day finance, seeing what the future could look like, all this sort of stuff, right? Because I
Mm.
put myself into financial, what do you call it, commitments
Responsibility.
and
Right.
responsibilities, right? And obviously, I've got
Right.
to factor in the fact that, inshallah, one day I'm going to have kids and all that sort of stuff. So, but the goal is to still do it. But I've also, got the reality of like, maybe you might have to stick around for a year or two, whatever. But it's that though, what you were saying, it's like, that's what, and my wife tells me this as well. Well, let's reflect on the now. Because like my wife's coming back next week, and every weekend since I'm like, man, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. And she was like, what do you mean you didn't do nothing? Like because I'm like, my wife's out. I'm gonna go, enjoy single life. I'm a boring guy. I trying to sit at home and watch TV. But then when Monday comes, I start complaining. And she's like, gee, you keep not forgetting like the good stuff that you did do, the chill that you did have, or the friends that you did see. It's just about, what you didn't do, what you don't have. Like just reflect on what you do have now. And it's great. What you do have now is actually fucking fantastic, especially compared to people in the world. But yeah, it's good to see you though, man. I feel like we haven't caught up in ages. I know there's been some small fight cards and whatnot. And I've tried to watch it. Last week's one was a tough one. Like, so I felt sick, bro. Like, so what happened was Sunday, right? I got a friend in town. You met him, actually. Remember my friend Ahmed, the tall Lebanese guy? Remember you came to my house on my birthday, like years ago. There was this tall white dude. He looked white, but he's Lebanese. Anyway,
Maybe if I see his face.
so you guys met anyway. Anyway, he's in town. He's been doing business here. So we met
Wow.
up. We met up. It was great. We went to the beach. And I was in the sun the whole day. I was in the ocean, but I didn't dip my head in it. So my head was actually exposed to the sun. So my friend's saying basically, I think you got heat stroke, right? But after an
Yeah.
hour of like chilling, like washed up and whatnot, my body started feeling weird, man. And then Sunday night, got home about
Mm.
7, 8. My body just went into shock, bro. We're talking about shivers, like a proper shivering, and I couldn't keep still. And I'm like, what's going on? I was talking to my wife. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. My body's shaking. Like I was perfect in the morning, 100%. And I went down all the way to
Mm.
0%. And then I remember like Sunday night, I just like I bust a bit of night nurse. I went straight to bed. I slept for like 14 hours. I woke up just to email my team and say, listen, guys, I need to rest more. And I slept for another couple hours. And then I messaged you saying, bro, I can't do it. Just into shock, man. I think it was heat stroke. I think my brain was getting fried or something because of the heat. And then, Tuesday I was much better. I took that day off just to recover again, just to make sure I'm 100%. And then Wednesday I got back into routine. But it was such a weird feeling, man. I was like, man, I don't get sick like this, but I think it was the heat stroke basically. Um, but yeah, other than that, man, wife's back next week. Just trying to, this week get through the week of work, and then can't wait for it till she's back. I'm fucking bored. So it's gonna be nice to have someone to chill with. But I had, you know what? I tell you something I did do. I went out last week with my friend in town for the first. When I went out, I'm talking about to a club for the first time in like 8 years, and it reminded me why I don't like these places. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
this is why I don't like these places, and this is why I'm happy I don't go to them. It was fun to see and experience and whatnot, but I was like, yeah, I'm too old for this shit, and I just don't want to be around this crap anymore. But I guess I got a chance to see the Dubai scene in regards to the nightlife and whatnot. So that was funny. But I don't, obviously I don't drink or take any substances, but it ruined my weekend morning, Saturday morning, because I went to sleep at 3 a.m. I couldn't wake up in time to do my normal Saturday morning routine. And I was like, even though I don't drink and all that sort of stuff, like it's still shit. It still fucks up your routine, and you know what I mean? Like it's so unhealthy in my opinion. But listen, I'm old. Like all these young people, let them have fun. I'm an old guy who just don't like that. But it was interesting. 8 years I haven't been in that environment, man. I'm just like, yep, this is why I stopped.
That sucks. Yeah, no, I get that, man. And heat stroke's a fucking bitch. I've had that before, and the symptoms, what you're saying, did you say that you couldn't get hot, you couldn't get warm?
Yeah,
You said you were
exactly.
shivering.
I was
You were
shivering,
right,
internal cold, and like proper cold.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. You had that one, man. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, bro, I didn't even eat the whole day. I ordered food, I took a bite, I had to throw it away, and just complete shutdown, man. And then for me, how my brain works. I wake up Monday and I'm complaining, oh, my Monday's ruined. I can't go training. And I start thinking about all these things, and then my wife's like, can you just please recover? Like, please, like recover, be good, and then we can have this conversation. When I was recovered, I was like, oh, I'm good, I'll go training the next day. But that's how my brain thinks. I always think about the time I'm losing or the whatever I'm losing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Monday. I didn't go training and I feel like I'm out of shape now, or whatever it is. So my brain works differently. I need to reprogram it in the sense of like, as you said in the very beginning, just accept like what you got now is amazing. Accepting that. It's such a hard thing. I don't know. I think we're fucking brainwashed to just think more, 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 and not accept what you got, love what you got, but plan for more. You know what I mean?
Mm. It's funny that you said that because I had a conversation with someone, and they um they were saying that they're always talking about being in balance, being being present, being in the moment, and removing ego from things and external temptations and whatnot. Uh, but you know him him constantly talking about that and not talking about the future. I thought to myself, okay, I thought to myself, you're trapped between your past experiences and your traumas and trying to stay present. So you have no time to look at the future. And you're just about clinging on to this moment here. And I thought, damn. And then I got back into my domain space and I started, okay. And I was like, hold on a minute. This is the best way to use it, right? What is the past for? G man, tell me. What's the past for?
What's the past for?
What's our
Learning? I don't
experiences?
know. Experiences,
Oh,
learning.
yeah, right. To take it forward, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To
Right,
move
right,
forward, yeah.
right. So I just thought of like a 3-step process that it should be. It should just be that you go into the past, whether it's your own or your experiences, wisdom and whatnot, and you use that in the current time for whatever you have to deal with now, and you use that to plan for your future. Not making the same mistakes. Maybe you don't invest in this anymore because you know it's bad because you learn, you know. So I was just like, so I said it to this person, and I was like, yo, like you need to use all 3 of these chains. Don't stay in 2 and 3. You need to do 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Or sorry, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. And I was like, stop manifesting shit, thinking about the future. He was like, oh, yeah, I don't do that anymore. I was like, man. So yeah, I think a lot of people are built on that system where they're just in two and three, you know, and they're unable to kind of like leave three for what it is, stay in two, and look at one as a future.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because if you speak, or when you hear people, like rarely do people ever say, I regret my past, even if they had a fucked up past and whatever happened in their past, they always like the past had to happen for me to be where I am today and the future to happen. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know what it is, right? I was just listening as you logged on. I was just listening to Mark Lamont Hill, and he's doing a podcast with it's called The Legacy of Malcolm X, and it was Malcolm X's birthday couple last week or the week before.
Yeah,
And obviously, you know, the world don't.
great mind.
Yeah, amazing mind, and the world don't celebrate him. There's no Malcolm X Day and all that sort of stuff, but because anyway, we won't
What's
get into that. We won't get into that. But what I'm saying, he's a great mind. He definitely spoke out for people, his people in the world, injustice in the world, all this sort of stuff. Anyway, someone like Malcolm X, when you read his like, because I've listened to his book twice now. I don't know what it is, but for me, he's that prime example of a success story from the upbringing, you know, the pimp lifestyle that he was living in Harlem to the joining the Nation of Islam. And, you know, as a Muslim, you're like, it guided him, but it wasn't proper because there was racism involved in Nation of Islam. That's not, it's haram, like in the religion and whatnot. And then guided him straight to Islam, which really where he spent the last part of his life. And I was just learning that it wasn't the majority of his life when he really embraced the true Islam, where there is no racism and all that sort of stuff, and whatnot. But anyway, it's just deep because even someone like him, you look at life stories, like, man, it had to be like that for him to end up where he is. And I think about my life story, and we'll think about ourselves, like, man, it had to be. I speak to a friend the other day, and like my friend, I was like, man, like, because you know, like I'm into my prayers now and all that sort of stuff, even though I shouldn't have been in the club. But anyway, I'm still not perfect. That's my point. But I was telling him,
That's the
bro,
next
like
point.
one thing I learned about myself and my journey is it's like this is my journey. Like everyone is on their own journey. Be it I turned 38 and I started praying properly to someone who's 54 and stuff. Whatever it is, it like in my perspective, God puts us on our own journey, whatever it is. And you got to kind of embrace that and not look at others and judge others or whatever, try to embrace or enforce your ways on other people and whatnot. And then for me, I always reflect it back onto like my mind frame, like my religion and praying 5 times a day. It's all discipline, right? And I'm like, man, I've had this discipline with my training and my diet and all that. So it's just implementing it in my religion, which really should have been first, but you know, it's my journey, and everyone has their own journey, and I don't think anyone can ever. You can always give perspectives, you can always like give ideas, but you can never judge or you can never enforce, oh, you should do this, you should. No, it's like, hey, this is what I do. How, you know, how could you implement something better in your life, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And just
Mm.
finding those ways. But I don't like it when I come across people, and I'll speak for like religious Muslim people, try to just tell you you should do this, you should do that, you should do. Like I like it when they guide you rather than just enforce it. You're this, you're that. This person's an idiot. This person's that. I'm like, all right, bro. I can't even listen to you now. I don't even want to listen to you. Actually, not. I'm actually not attracted to listening to your religious views. You're actually pushing me away. Um, and I think that's just like a reflection of the way people talk and the way that their perspectives are. It's like, you got to accept that if you're really, and it's my opinion again, if you're really religious, yes, we have the rule set and whatnot. You can't break the rule set, but that guidance, because it says it in the Quran, like, I don't know the exact verse, but it says like, Allah chooses who he guides and guides in the right direction. But that's their journey, man. You know what I'm trying to say? It's their journey.
Mm.
I
Mm.
don't know how I got into this tantrum, but you know, happy Malcolm X Day, by the way. I went on a
Yeah,
mad tantrum somewhere.
Happy Malcolm X Day for sure. But it's all ego, isn't it? Really? That's what it is. It's, you know, those people out there, they're putting their own personal feelings and emotions into what they believe in, and then they're using, you know, the sacred word as a conduit to bring people over, and that's just that's always going to be there. You know, as if people don't collectively believe in like the truth, like the higher truth, ignoring all the other stuff, all the other divisions, the higher truth of like pure logic, universal logic. Yeah, we're the same, and you know, we're all part of the same system, planet Earth, all this. If none of that happens, we're going to constantly be in the same domain which we are now, which is this people butting heads on opinions, judgment, criticism, religion, rape, this. And when you see it, it's just like, man, like this is really what we're stuck on. Like, if only they could just you know, make it work.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like because there's so many human beings on the planet, we're gonna always clash. Like, you know what I mean?
But
Be
from
it
the
us,
top down,
yeah.
from the top down, those ones up there that are the because remember, yeah, there's how many people are on the planet? Give me a rough number.
What is it coming up to 8 billion now, something now?
Okay. How many people run the planet,
Yeah.
would you say?
What would you say? A couple of thousand, maybe?
Right. Like and maybe even they have a boss. You know? So so it's like what?
Crazy.
How yeah, right. When you look at there's so many things we just don't think about. Like, but when you really look at the numbers of things and you're just like that really is done by that and how does that why does that make sense? How is that fair?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Well, no, it's
yeah.
true. And recent world events is showing that. You know,
Uh,
recent
uh,
world events is showing like certain entities are, controlling the world. Certain entities are able to block certain things. Certain entities are saying, shit, without like I don't want to get into it, but yeah, certain entities are showing, and those certain entities who are running things, who are the superpowers and whatnot, are losing face value in the world, and but it reflects exactly on your point. It's a certain entity compared to 8 billion human beings, but it's just the way it goes, man. Like, it's crazy.
it's you ever seen that movie called okay. You ever seen that movie called Platform?
Mm-mm.
Oh, damn. Okay, well, it's a great metaphor for this plane of life that we live in. Literally, um, I'm gonna make it really short because it's yeah. What it is this massive construct, okay, and in the middle is a platform, right? Maybe a bit bigger than a prison cell, and that platform goes from the very top to the very bottom, okay? As in life, the top is the highest, they get the best, okay? And food is dropped from these chefs and the platform goes down, right? And sorry, the platform is where the food is at, and everybody's kind of like on the outskirts on this tower, right? And they have a bed and all this kind of stuff. The platform goes down every single day, okay? Now, if the people at the top are willing to share and be nice to everybody else, we would all have food. You see where I'm going with this? Right? But what do you think they
Mm-hmm.
do?
Mm-mm.
They eat it. They eat whatever they want. They piss on the food because they're like below them, they're nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is.
And I'm assuming by the time it gets to the bottom, it's just the scraps, right? And they're the poor people, so just eat our scraps. It's the way it goes, yeah.
That's why that's a really good movie for you know for that kind of concept of the world we live in. And there's a second one coming. I don't know what they're doing that shit because it was a complete story. It's a complete story. But anyway, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, sounds interesting. And it's just a reflection of the world
Yeah.
and a reflection on like how we should humble ourselves. But I try to listen, man. I'm in a great position, right, in life. And I keep trying to remind myself as we were talking about. So I try to show
Mm.
everyone respect, man. Be it, like for example, I go out for a walk every morning. Every morning I see the cleaner. Every morning I say salam alaikum, good morning to him. Like, do you know what I mean? It's that I got better relationship with him than my neighbors because for some reason my neighbors, nobody wants to say hello. I feel awkward now because I say hello to the guy just on the other side. Good morning, salam alaikum, and he would just nod his head. but there's nothing there. The guy never ever says it back or whatever. Like, but with the guy who does the cleaning, we talk like we say salam alaikum, we say hello. And I'm like, I don't know what it is with everyone else. Nobody wants, we're neighbors, man, but nobody wants to say hello or nothing. So I'm like, I don't care. I'll build a relationship with anyone. I'll say hello to anyone. Same with the gym, the cleaners. There's a cleaner for the building, and there's one for the gym itself. Like,
The gym. Yeah.
yeah, every time I see the man, salam alaikum, how you doing? They talk. One of the guys is Bengali, so he's so happy to speak to me. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a sense of like community. Like you're one of our, yeah, and one of you talk
Right.
type of
Right.
thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
listening to his story. It's like, oh, brother, I've been out of Bangladesh for like 20 years. My family's in Bangladesh. She lived in Oman, and it's heartbreaking, man. I'm just like, man, you're a hustler. You're a hustler. You are a fucking hustler because you've been doing this for 20 years away from your family. You get a chance to see your family once every 2 years. The money you make for sure is peanuts. And you're hustling, you know what I mean? So, but it's nice to speak to him and we catch up. I make sure I make time to say hello. If you know what I mean, I don't give a shit who's around. I'll shake their hand. And this is like, you know what I mean? This is always making sure myself, I don't care who you are. I see the owner of the gym, TK, Tam Khan, I shake his hand. He's a nice guy, I have to say. Like, he goes out, from what I could see, he goes out of his way to shake my hand. Hey, brother, how you doing and whatnot. I'm like, cool, this is nice guy's humbled himself and whatnot. Maybe there's a lot of learnings at his take. And I'm like, yeah, that's inspiring, Same with some of the coaches at the gym, one of the coaches, one of the fighters, he just fought in karate FC or the karate combat, sorry, thing. I'm just sitting there waiting for the MMA class. He comes sit next to me. How you doing, brother? How's everything? When are you turning 40? Because we have this. He was the one who found out I was 40, getting 40, and we just started talking. But I'm just like, every time he sees me, he comes over, shakes my hand. Salam alaikum. How you doing, brother? And then what he did the other day, he was teaching a kids class. So he came over, shook my hand. All the kids, 6-year-old, they come over. Like, you know what I mean? He's already by action showing them like, this is how you show these people respect. Doesn't matter if I'm the fighter in the gym. You know what I mean? I'm on the fight team and doesn't matter. I'm gonna go over to this brother, say salam alaikum. We smile, we say hello, how are you and whatnot. And the little kids started doing, all of them started coming, salam alaikum. They started shaking my hand. I'm like, he's leading by example, by just, and this is a beautiful thing. Yeah, exactly. And they're doing the same thing. And they're all saying, I'm like, this is a good, I'm inspired by that. So I have to make sure I do the same. You know what I mean? I try to show everyone respect when I go to the malls and I go to the bathroom, for example, you got the cleaners in there. If we may eye contact, I'm always gonna say hello, how you doing, salam alaikum, whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter who you are, man. I try to be nice. Only thing that makes me very aggressive is drivers out here. I fucking effing and blinding for drivers. Outside of that, bro, I'm always trying to say hello to everyone and
That's
smile
your
at
fight.
me. Bro, driving. Oh my God. It's so bad. In driving here, I mean, it's so important that you have to be aware of everything else except everyone else. But no, it's important, man. Like smiling and saying hello is such a beautiful gesture that we don't do enough. And it just could uplift someone's day. It could just ease an environment. It could ease an atmosphere. It could ease energy. Just good morning. You know what I mean? But I think where we grow up in London and whatnot, it's fucking weird. What? Smiling at me? Good morning. Who are you? Like, I can't even say good morning to my neighbors there. I mean, I don't have it here because we've got a bunch of expats here. I think it's like that expat, that city life or whatever it is. It's like, it's just a smile and a hello and good morning. Why don't we have community? I don't get it. But yeah, no, I went on another tantrum again, but you know what I'm saying.
I absolutely do. And no, that was great points, very valid point state. It that shows what kind of human that you are, and you've done the inner work. You see that we're all on an even keel. Doesn't matter how much money you have in your account, what color scheme you are, or whatnot, what you believe in. Like we're human, and you know we're mirrors basically. So I think that's great, and that example of the top down is exactly what I'm saying. If that's what's taught there from someone of his stature and his accolades and prestige, that's always going to go down. Oh my God, the champion was so humble and he was this. Wow, I want to be a champion like this, not like Dylan Danis,
It's true though. I mean, another example happened not last week. I wasn't there the week before. You know, I go into the gym. Upstairs is the prayer room. I go up, start doing my prayers, and the next prayer is going to start, the sunset prayer. And we're just
Yeah.
kind of waiting. Who sits next to me? Hamzat Chimaev. And he's sitting right next to me. And when prayer starts, we're standing. This is UFC superstar, possibly future champion, sitting next to me. And then when the prayer starts, we're standing side by side. Like when it comes to like, and this is again from a religious perspective, when it comes to Islam and praying to God, we're all equal. You don't mean like your stature don't mean nothing. Right now, we are equal as human beings. And I was just like, no, I didn't talk to him after that last experience I had. I was like, I'm not gonna bother trying whatever. But I was like, this is beautiful. This is the way it should be. And I've always seen pictures of like, you know, Muhammad Ali and Prince Nassim or whatnot, whatever, praying next to like, you know, anyone, right? And that's the way it should be. Like there's no stature and whatnot. And I was like, it is nice. It's a nice feeling to be like to kind of see, and it just kind of inspires you, man. I don't want to be a dick, man. I work on it. When you say I'm trying to be that human being, I'm trying. What it is, it's a daily discipline grind of like trying to be that person. Because we have to, you know, I got human emotions too, and the worst thing I could do is take it out on someone who doesn't deserve it. And I've done that before. I know I've done that before, and that's a dick move. So yeah, we're all trying to be better, man.
Well, that's the best thing that you can do. But there's always the two, the two sides of the brain, the duality. I think we spoke about it last. I think I mentioned about the comics, Punisher, like doing good to do bad. The fact that we all have that in us. Like there's always going to be that dual notion, whether it's the mind and the heart, right? The emotion and the logic, or two halves of the brain, or male and feminine energies, however there's always going to be that internal struggle, right? Of doing like what your ego should do, which is, I'm going to do this now, versus the common collective, like, well, hold on. Now that was dumb. Let's approach it this way. So it's always that too, that duality. And yeah, it's a funny old game, huh?
It's a funny old game, man. Well, talking about games, let's get into some fight talk, man, because we got a good card coming up. We got UFC 302, Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. I've shaved off my mustache in preparation. Obviously, I'm showing bias here. No, I'm joking. I messed up my mustache, which is why I take it off, so I need to start again.
Oh,
but
I was actually gonna say
I messed it up. I don't like it. Them brothers,
I was actually gonna.
them brothers
Go
can
on.
pull it off. I don't like it. I don't like it. I need my mustache back, but I completely
But
messed
you
it
know
up.
what it is? It's because this isn't thick enough. If you
Maybe.
let this if you let it thick enough, then you'll be one of the brothers straight up. Like look, you'd have that thick
This doesn't.
strap like
Yeah.
protection.
First of all, this doesn't even grow that thick, and it grows like messy and twiggly and whatever.
You mentioned before, yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
need to go
tough.
talk to the brothers and be like, yo, what are you putting in your head? That
But that's a
argan
different.
oil.
They're different DNA, bro. That's what it is. They're from a different part of the world. But
Well,
yeah,
start eating
I.
their food.
But no, for this week, I'm gonna claim to be like a Russian wrestler, Islamic wrestler, whatever. But yeah, no, hopefully it goes back by the end of the week. But Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier, I thought we'll catch up about this card, give our breakdowns, give our thoughts, give our predictions, whatnot. So I'm looking forward to this one, man. I'm always excited to see not just Islam because it's biased, but Poirier, man, a legend, and this could possibly be his last fight. And I just wanted to give these thoughts. Like, yes, I'm a fan of both of them, without that, because Dustin Poirier is a fucking great person, is a great fighter. Obviously, I'm a bit biased towards Islam Makhachev, and I want him to win. However, if
Always
Poirier,
are biased.
I know. But if Poirier wins, I'm actually going to be really happy for him because I think it's going to be the greatest story. It could be one of the greatest story in UFC or MMA history, just his journey and just to get that belt because he's bro, think about him, bro. He fought Khabib a couple years ago for the belt. He's been fighting the top tiers of lightweight for the last whatever, like 8, 9 years or something, right? He's still up there. And this could be his last chance. He even admitted himself, man. If he wins, like I would genuinely would be happy for him. And I'm like, man, this is an amazing story, like amazing. And he could do it. The thing is, this is how crazy he is. He can actually do it. It's not like he's old and busted and whatnot. He's shown in his last fight, he took out that young dog, Benoit. I think he could do it. Saint-Denis, yeah. Sorry, I messed up his name. He could do it. He could 100% do it. I mean, of course, Makhachev, you know, if he plays it smart, I guess I'm sure they got a good game plan or whatever. Yes, of course, Makhachev's a favorite and whatnot, but Poirier can do it. And I wouldn't be sad if he. I'd be sad a little bit for Islam, but I'll actually genuinely be happy for Dustin, man. Because if anyone deserves it, man, it's him. He does a lot of good charity work. You know what I mean? Like he's a great fighter. He's a great person. Like it's fucking amazing. He's an amazing dude. So I would genuinely be happy for him if he does win. But obviously my bias is like, well, I want Islam to win. But you know, it's one of those ones. It's one of those ones. I'm in that position.
I'm glad that you actually have a diversity of opinion because of that. Because it's
because it's
Dustin. Rare.
Yeah, but it's because it's Dustin. Yeah. If it was Kobe or I don't know, McGregor or something, I'd be like, I want Islam to win. I love, you know what I mean? But of course, it's Dustin. It's Dustin. Even with Charles Oliveira, he's such a nice guy. Like I wanted Islam to win, but Charles is such a nice freaking guy. Like I like, you know me. I like the nice, humble guys. But it's only because it's Dustin. I feel that way.
Fair enough, man. I mean, like, I have heard about it. I had heard about him talking about retirement, and I'm thinking, yeah, he does. He is the guy who has a big chance to do it. But what happens if he wins? Is he still going to retire? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, he could do what? Well, I mean, he'll just move on, right? And then Islam will fight. Then they'll have to do another title fight with Islam versus someone else. I would think it would be Islam versus like Justin Gaethje or something like that.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah.
I hope if he does win, I hope he does retire. I hope. That's the best story. The best story.
Yes.
I hope he's not like, oh, let me do one more fight. I'll make millions because I'm a champion. No, please. Like, that would be the best story. Because he made the millions with Conor, which is great. Twice, right? So you don't need to think about pay-per-view points and they need more money. No. Like, if he wins as champion, that would be a beautiful MMA story. That would be a beautiful story for Dustin Poirier to finish it. Amazing.
That is exactly what his name insists about being a diamond. You know, like pressure makes the diamond. The fact that, you know, he's been shining all this time and, you know, he's had a couple blemishes, but he's still shining like a diamond. So it's amazing to see him possibly accomplish like you said, one of the best.
What's your any predictions, any thoughts about the fight that you think it's going to go a certain way or?
Well, I would tell Dustin, don't go for guillotine.
He's doing it, boy. He's gonna do it.
Did you hear that he said, I don't know if it's gonna if he wins the belt or not, but I think it was that he would get a statue built of him pulling guard. Did you hear about that?
What, in his hometown? No, I didn't hear about that.
So. I believe so.
What, pulling the guillotine? Yeah, pulling the guillotine.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Imagine he won by guillotine. Oh my God, that'd be the best story in the world.
I think I can only see him setting that up if he was to soften Islam up on the feet and get him hurt and do that. I think outside of that, it's you know.
I did see an interview with Islam. I did see an interview with Islam where he was with Daniel Cormier. And he was like, say, you know, I respect Poirier, great striking. And then he said, you know, he's got a great guillotine. And he starts laughing, which obviously he meant that he didn't respect the guillotine. But he said, but he ended up saying, but we are training for it. Like, even though I'm laughing about it, not in these exact words, but even though I'm laughing about it and I don't respect it because we are training to get out the guillotine just in case. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a little bit of respect of like, I'm not going to underestimate it that much. But you know, they were laughing about, he was laughing about his, when he says he has a great guillotine. But you got to train for it. Imagine that. I mean, he caught
That would be
Khabib.
nice.
Apparently, I mean, he did catch Khabib. I mean, he caught loads of people, to be honest with you. They all just get out of it. So
True, true. But yeah, for that fight, oof, I couldn't call it, man. I would just say that Islam needs to play his game, which is, you know, don't get in the pocket with Dustin, stay the distance, use your kicks, right? We've seen it's possible to do it. You know, seen it against Dustin, and we've seen him do it against Volkanovski. So you know, he got it in his locker to do it. And I think after that, that's it. You know, wrestling and whatnot. So I think like I would look at it like that. That the keys for his victory is to do that for Islam. For Dustin, he needs to like bust him up on the feet, get in close, get his, you know, and then go and bust him up. And then, you know, let the chaos fly because Dustin's great in chaos, you
mm.
know, but I can't call it, man. It's too difficult.
Yeah, I do think my thoughts is I think Islam's gonna submit him. I think he's gonna wrestle him and submit him. I think you're right. I think Dustin, the way I see Dustin will win it is if he can, excuse me,
He's
keep
gotta.
it, yeah, keep it in the boxing range, out like boxing. Try and get him into a
Mm,
boxing fight, which is gonna be tough in MMA fights, especially against a wrestler. But then in the
yeah,
pocket, you're right. If you can get him in an exchange in the pocket, that's where Poirier is so dangerous, being in that pocket. So that's going to be an interesting if you can pull that off. That's the way I see Dustin can win.
yeah.
But I think from a distance, I see Islam. From close
Islam
up, I see
picking
Islam. It's just that boxing in the pocket range. There's that
that.
fine range that I think that boxing the end of your box your range of boxing and then in
Mm,
that boxing pocket
range,
range. But then once you get
right?
closer, it's dangerous. Once you get a bit further out, it's dangerous. That's the way I see it for
For who?
Poirier. Poirier needs
Right,
to
yeah,
be
yeah,
in
yeah.
that little, needs to find that little distance. That's the way I see it.
Right, and perhaps like check the kicks, throw some of his own, right, to slow Islam down because we know the takedowns are gonna be fierce and ferocious. So something like that, you know. But Islam throws pretty good kicks too,
Yeah,
low
I mean
kicks and
Islam's a
whatnot.
way better striker than Khabib. Like, you know what I mean? If you're comparing the two,
Ooh,
because it's always hard to like not in a sense.
I'm
But
not.
I I know it's I think Islam's getting his own shine now, but he's definitely a better striker than Khabib. Like way more smoother, way more better technique, better positioning, form, all that sort of stuff. Um,
Mm,
it's going to be an interesting fight, man. I'm super excited for this one. It's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a very fun fight. Cool, man. Well, let's move on to the co-main event, which is another fun fight, middleweight bout, Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. I feel like this fight should have happened so many times, but hopefully, it's
mm.
happening this week.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes,
Another
yes, yes, yes.
interesting fight, man, because Sean Strickland, I mean, he's got that amazing boxing in the pocket, not in the pocket, sorry, amazing boxing and defense. Yeah, just amazing at it, right? Like MMA, Philly style, just amazing. Paulo Costa
100%.
is a lot more aggressive. It's powerful. Um, I think with Sean Strickland, it's always that if you try to overwhelm him and you can't finish him and the rounds go on, then you're in trouble. Right? That's you know what I mean? Then you're in trouble because he's just gonna
Yeah,
pull it on you after that.
gonna put
Um,
pressure on you,
so I don't
start
know.
popping.
I feel like Strickland's gonna win with exactly that. Like I feel like
Yeah,
Costa's gonna come out tough, and
yeah.
then Strickland will hold it up, like just kind of defense and just might get rocked, maybe I don't know, but he'll survive, and then he'll take him the distance and just kind of piece him up with his boxing. That's the way I see it.
I have to agree with you on that one because Costa, for as menacing as he looks, um, that he tends to fight in the way that he looks, which is to use his raw power. And he doesn't have any striking defense whatsoever. We saw that many times, you know. Uh, so if he can't like manhandle you and beat you up and whatnot, get you like close and start weighing you in, it doesn't really work out for him. Albeit he does have like ridiculous head kicks and they're fast and there's no trigger to it. It's just whap.
Mm, mm,
Um, so he does have those, and we've seen Strickland got caught by Drickus with them, but he's got a fucking tough head anyway. Strickland. So yeah, I agree. I think looking at that, if Costa doesn't, put the pressure on and back Strickland up and beat him up, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, because he's just too. He reminds me of is it Machamp? Remember that Pokemon? Machamp. Machamp.
No.
No, it was it was like this on the card. It's like blue.
It look like a fish?
Not really, but just like a Macho Man character. Like when I think of him, it just reminds me of that. And just like when you look at it, you think, oh, it's gonna be slow and heavy and really powerful. And he is fast in moments, but he relies too much on that and not his other aspects of fighting. And that's the downfall. That's why it was him and Izzy was what it was.
And Strickland's smart. Like, Strickland says what he says, I'm going into death and blah, 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 blah. When it comes to fighting, obviously he has IQ. Like, he doesn't go in crazy. Like, he's smarter than that. Like, he knows how to fight with great defense and knows how to put pressure with that defense and that boxing. Like, he's not what his kind of persona makes him out to be, which I'm just gonna go in there and fucking go crazy like a fucking, who was that guy in UFC, the early UFCs, the big Tank Abbott? Not like, you know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like he acts and might look, or not look exactly, but just that Tank Abbott style, I'm gonna fucking kill someone in there and I'll get killed. But no, he's very intelligent when he's in there, like, because he uses his fighting skill set to a T. So, I think he's very intelligent. I do see Sean taking that one by decision. I do think so.
Same.
Cool. All right, well, let's move on. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, just add to that. That's the difference between like fighters and everybody else, isn't it? Because the public will project their feelings and, oh man, if that was me, I would. And they think, oh, he's like us too. Like he's talking about it, but they're not looking that behind that, So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I can't remember who said it recently, but it's like the fighters are putting their lives on the line. They have to be smart and intelligent to win, right? If you're gonna do it for the crowd, then you're not gonna have the longest career. I mean, you say that, you might point out to like a Justin Gaethje or whatever, but he even said to himself, like, I'm not a reckless fighter. I might make it look reckless, but I'm not reckless. I'm very what's the word? I'm very intelligent with what I do. I'm calculated with what I do. What did he call it? I think he's called it like calculated all-in or something like that. You calculate violence, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. I mean, Strickland, I think, acts like that, and he will fight to the fucking death. I think he'll fight anyone, or do anything, you know what I mean? But he's very intelligent with his fighting. Like, he knows how to fight. So he's not just gonna go out there swinging. He knows what to do, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Well, moving on to the next fight. Kevin Holland's back. This guy, I feel like he just fought last week. I love this dude, bro. He's back. He's fighting Makhachev. I can't pronounce that name. My guy from Poland, Oleksiy Jazuk.
Hold on. Let me try and save you and get stuck at the same time. I'm gonna find and save you. Wait. Oh shit.
While I'm saying these names, I'm pretty sure. I think Kevin Holland jumped in last moment.
Oh shit. Oh wow, that's all. Oh, this guy, I remember him. Oleksiy. It's definitely Oleksiy. No. Okay. Mikhail.
Oleksiy. It's got to start with Oleksiy, right? And then, anyway, why are we going to spend 20 hours trying to... My guy, Michael, how do you say his first name? Mahal.
Okay, fuck it, go on.
Listen, I don't know what to expect from this fight. I'm pretty sure Kevin Holland stepped up to fill in a blank, because he does that and he's freaking amazing at it. He takes more fights than anyone in the... I'm pretty sure he takes more fights than anyone in the UFC. I don't know what his recovery game looks like. I don't know what his training looks like, but it feels like this guy just doesn't get injured. Like to put him out. Like, for like a shoulder injury or knee injury or whatnot. I'm pretty sure he's very intelligent with his training and recovery. You know what I mean? What we don't see in the background, I'm sure he's got to be intelligent for taking these fights so short notice. I don't know if I mean, he's exciting, he's amazing. He's just like, I want to make my money. Is it smart in the sense of building him up in the rankings? Because, like, I don't know, like, does all these fights wear on him where he just might lose one or whatever? Like he's 15 now, right? There was a point we were talking about him might be getting the title fight, right? And then, you know, he'll just take a fight, he'll lose it, he'll take a fight, he'll lose it. And not being strategic with who you want to fight. Now you got to love this guy because he'll fight anyone. You got to love that aspect. But is it intelligent now, especially in this day and age, to be smart on who you fight and then build yourself up to that title fight? Like, maybe that's not his game. Maybe like, I don't know if he's even mentioned it. Maybe he's like, fuck the belt. I don't want the belt. I just want to fight, make money, and get the fuck out of here. But he's fun, man. He's a fan favorite. You know, I'm excited to see him. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on Kevin and this strategy?
Well, I believe that the rankings don't mean shit and haven't for a long time anyway. And it's just about what the audience want, what the critics want. That's really what it is, right? Because they're the one who pay the tickets. It's the ratings that really count. So he can do what he's doing. He just needs to find a dance partner that's gonna propel that interest and that money. Where you know maybe he fights somebody else that's like higher up the rank, and maybe they get into a bit of a back and forth, and it brings interest. And okay, that guy is a fairly top guy or whatever, and then they make that deal. He has the fight, and he's next contender, like something like that. So yeah, you're right. It is smart to take smart fights. Yes. Does it make sense? No. Should they bring the rankings back as they was and respect the system? Yes, they should. But yeah, with Kevin, I don't know. Like you said, he's fun to watch. What do they call him? Big Mouth.
Big Mouth, or Dana calls him Big Mouth, I think.
Big Mouth. Right. Yeah. No, he's a fun fighter and all that. But yeah, I think he knows what he's doing. You know, he knows what he's doing, and it doesn't really matter about anything else. To be honest, he knows what he's doing. You know, that's it. But if he doesn't want the belt, he's going about for now, he's going about the right way about it to not get to the belt. Yeah. Unless he gets a dance partner. And like I said.
But he's definitely building a great reputation and relationship with the audience, like always showing up, being fun, talking, and also with the UFC and Dana saying, hey, I'm there. Like, you know, you just mentioned the rankings don't mean shit. I mean, if Kevin Holland, you know, for example, he built, I don't know how much numbers and pay-per-views or whatever he can bring in, the reputation or whatnot. Imagine the title fight falls out a week before, and he's like, well, fuck it, we'll just give it to Kevin Holland. He's popular. He'll take it, right? And
he'll take it.
Hey, Michael Bisping won it on a 2-week. You never know. You just never know. Like, could you imagine that? So you never know.
That's a great point. That's a tremendous point. That it could go that way. Because we've had that sliding situation happen. Oh, we have a new champion. He wasn't even meant to fight like TJ Dillashaw. Wasn't that not meant to happen, right? TJ against Barao. Was he like he was a last minute? No, TJ.
I don't remember if it was a last minute. I mean, the best one comes to mind is Bisping.
Bisping is the best example, and yeah.
Maybe even Strickland versus Adesanya wasn't even meant to happen.
I was gonna say, but that was planned. It wasn't last minute. Was it? It wasn't. Oh, it was because Dricus was out.
Yeah, something like that. It was supposed to be Dricus. He was out. Yeah, things can happen, man. But in regards to like last minute swap outs, I mean, Kevin Holland's the dude, man. So mad respect to him, and always fun to see. What moving
it's a matter of, can you keep it once you get it? That's the thing. You got it. Yeah, you wasn't lucky, right? You prepared, and the opportunity came, and you took it. But can you keep it?
I mean, that'd be tough. That would be tough for Holland, because even if he became champion, he'd probably take the fight in the next week. I'll just fight anyone. Give him the title shot, whoever, fuck it.
Or he'll be like, I got the belt now. I had an injury. I was nursing for 2 months. I'm gonna be out for 6 months.
He
Peace
fucking
out,
deserves
guys.
that, though. Wouldn't he deserve something like that? Yeah, out of all the people.
He would, but that's normally how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. I mean, well, I mean, yeah, it's true. It's true. But if you're a champion, I guess you got to make sure, like, I want to be as 100% as possible before I take my next fight. Anyway, let's finish off the main card. We got Jalil Almeida,
Oh no.
heavyweight. He lost last time
By the
against
yeah.
Thing, isn't it?
Derek, look, no, Curtis Blades
Blade.
pounded him out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And versus he's fighting the Moldovan heavyweight Alexandra Romanov.
Romanov, yeah.
Yeah.
You know
So
him?
I remember Moldova sounds familiar. Like I remember him.
Romanov. Okay.
Trying
Okay.
to remember the
Well,
fight.
what's your thoughts on this fight then?
I mean, look, I'm
Uh,
trying to remember Alexandra,
right.
but with Joe Almeida, I don't think that last fight. Look, Curtis Blades is on top of the chain. So I don't think that really hurt him in the sense of his spirit and
That.
whatnot. I think that might have
Okay.
pushed him on further. We've seen what he's done. He drowns people, right, with his grappling and everything. So I think he's going to put that on. I think that's what he's going to put onto this fight, and I reckon he's going to come back strong and win with submission.
Sounds likely, but do you find that an exciting fight? His style at the moment, at his current moment, do you find it exciting?
I do. I'm cool with
Because
grappling. I know some people still hate it, and like I'm.
right.
This is MMA. This is MMA. I saw a podcast with Rogan and Hoist Gracie, and they were discussing. They say this is MMA. If you want to watch striking, go watch kickboxing. Why don't you give kickboxing the stripes and the recognition that it deserves? But then you want to see in MMA. Don't make no sense. Like let them grapple. If they're grappling and listen, that's the whole point of grappling. You know what I mean? But it's all about entertainment and everything. So I like it. I don't care. Like I know I will talk about this in breaking news because we didn't really talk about this for like 2 weeks. Bobby Green, he's fighting Paddy Pimblett. But Bobby Green's been very vocal about these wrestlers and stuff like that. But it's like, Bobby, man, you're an amazing striker and you're so fun to watch, but you're fighting in MMA. This is the game that you're in. Otherwise, get into boxing, get into kickboxing. But the recognition in kickboxing is not there for some weird reason. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. It's a tough one with the fans. It's so weird. It's like even like yeah, it's such a weird one. I love it, bro. I love it. Yes, when they're on the floor, like I'm like, for example, when I'm watching a fight and they're in a scrap or whatever, I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. When they're on the floor, I do like lay back and be like, all right, well, let's see what happens here. You know what I mean? I'm not like, for fuck's sakes, man. Let me go take a piss. Like, no, I'm like, all right, well, I'm more chilled back. You're watching, it's strategy. And even if it is boring and they say that someone's laying on top, well, the guy underneath, I've been there, man. I've trained it all the time. When someone's on top of me, man, I know how it is, how fucking hard it is to get someone off me. So in a sense, like I get it, it's boring. You got to stand them back up, but the goal is the person on the bottom needs to get up. Like that's the fight. You know what I mean? When I'm stuck on the bottom in jiu-jitsu and I'll be there tonight. My goal is to get up or try and make a move or whatever. You know what I mean? And in MMA, it's dangerous because you make a wrong move, you get punched or elbowed. And it's not just defending the submission. So I like it. In conclusion, with my long rant, I like it.
Okay. The reason I asked is just because he obviously got a lot of stick for the last fight, and moving forward up the chain to the higher ranking fighters, that style that he has, that solid style, like it needs to be a bit more varied, against the high echelon. Because if he's just trying to wrestle everybody, we saw what happened. So that's why I was asking you. But I respect all of it anyway. Like whatever you got to do, But I just hear like what people like the reaction to it. And I'm like, okay, he's not going to be in the title contention anytime soon if he keeps fighting like that right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about a skill set and evolving it to beat his opponent, not to be entertaining, from that perspective, I'm like, yeah, of course he has to evolve it. Like, I want to see the mixture of strikes, to wrestling, to ground and pound, all that. Yes, of course. But if it's like, listen, man, if you keep fighting like that and winning, but it's boring, and you're not going to get a title shot, I think that's bullshit. I personally think that's bullshit. I mean, he's winning.
It already happens. Bilal. right?
Well, we're gonna talk about him. But
Right,
he's getting his shot. We'll talk about it in news, right?
right. But prior to, and Dariush, yeah, these guys fighting. Okay, maybe they're not knocking everybody out in emphatic fashion, but they took them a long time to get a belt, so it happens anyway.
Yeah, I mean, WWE is exciting sometimes. I mean, look, even Islam Makhachev, Tony
Him,
Ferguson, like so,
exactly.
but they're not boring fighters though. Like Tony Ferguson, fuck, he ain't boring. He just
Right. Well,
yeah.
I don't know about his one, but you see, the point I'm trying to make here is that if the audience ain't fucking with you, then the hell, then there's less chance of you getting the gold
Oh
or
yeah, I
affiliate.
mean, and we've
That's the
seen it
point
the
I'm making.
opposite. When the audience is fucking with you, you just get a title shot for the sake of it. Kobe, McGregor, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I see that. I see that. I don't think it's fair though. I don't think it's fair. As long as if he
Of course
wins,
not. That's why I said let's get back to the ranking system as it once was. Respect that system because we haven't been, and it's fine. Like it's been fun, but come on, like let's go back.
agreed.
If
Well,
there's some
look,
outliers, sorry to cut you. If there's some outliers, like Connor comes, okay, fine, like do what you need to do, okay. But generally speaking, come on, like you're not respecting these fighters that deserve.
yeah, yeah. All right, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see how his
We'll see
performance
what
is on this
happens.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
To finish off the main card, you got Randy Brown versus Dos Santos. That's what I'm just gonna call him that because his name is too long. To put, I'm not gonna pronounce that, but Dos Santos. Ile Zui Zal
Oh
Zaleski.
wow. Yeah, I'm not even gonna. Yeah, even no. Okay. Yeah.
I don't even
You know the
recognize
guy?
him to be honest with you. Trying to remember
No.
his face, but
No. I don't
yeah.
recognize him.
Well, let's skim.
Uh, go on. Go on. Go on. Go on.
I was just gonna skim through the rest of the card. Um, you got on the prelims, you got Cesar Almeida versus
Oh,
Roman Kopilov.
hey,
Who
yo,
else?
he fought Strickland. You know that guy.
The Brazilian dude.
Yeah, the Santos. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Trying to I'm heading into it. Carry on. Carry on. Carry on.
Who's you got? Nico Price is on the card. Mickey Go is on the card.
Oh, yo, he's a capoeira artist. You know.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. I think we should. I mean, yeah. I
Why
know
don't I?
you have background in capoeira. Like, maybe it might be worth having a look at that one.
I mean, I'll definitely watch the fight, no doubt about it. Why don't I know him? Why is it something that hasn't stuck out?
He actually beat Benoit Saint Denis as well, and Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov. He beat him too.
Why am I
He lost
14 wins
the.
by knockout? No, 14 wins by knockout, 3 wins by
Yeah, he
submission.
beat Strickland. He knocked out Strickland with a spinning heel kick and punches.
What?
Mm,
Why? A spinning
yeah,
heel kick? How the hell do I?
yeah,
All right, you know what? This weekend, I will
yeah,
know him. This weekend,
yeah,
gonna watch him and I'm gonna know him. I'm gonna like, why is it that his
yeah.
face is not familiar? His name's not familiar to me, but this weekend, yeah, freaking out. Okay, all right. Well, look, let's finish off with some news. I got to jump on a work call in a bit, man. So that's the card
All right.
this week. I can't wait for it. If you're free, let's try and do a watch along. We'll talk during the week, see if we want to do we could do a watch along. It's a UFC card. It'd be fun to
I'm
do.
up for it. I'm
Yeah,
up for it.
awesome, awesome. So we'll talk and try and make that happen. On the news, we mentioned a couple things. So Bilal Muhammad is like that London card, the Manchester card in the UK. Bilal Muhammad versus um the champion
Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards is going to be Bilal finally getting that title shot that he clearly deserves. But you're right, you know, there was some controversy there because maybe his style or whatever. Exciting fact, bro. That Manchester card is wicked, bro. Let's try and pull that up. Hold on, that's a freaking
Mm,
great freaking card,
I
man.
was gonna. It is incredible. I think with Bilal, it's more his character, his personality, you know. And I'm not saying he needs trash talk, right? Because that's not all of it. But I think he's just a very reserved person. I think we
Mm,
spoke about him before as well. And yeah, I guess he's got to find. You know what it is? It's I think a lot of people don't have the courage to be who they be themselves out to everybody and just own it, you know,
mm.
whatever that is. because they're fear of judgment and criticism and so on. You know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he tries to talk, and I've seen some tweets,
Generally,
but it's just kind of like, yeah, he doesn't need to do that. But yeah, I guess he was trying to get his name up there. I mean, look, bro, this is a wicked card, bro, right? You got Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. You got Tom
yep,
Aspinall versus Curtis Blades. You got
yep,
Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett, fucking exciting.
yeah.
Arnold Allen versus Gige Chikadze,
Giga
Chikadze,
Chicadian. No,
Chikadia.
Chikazian. No, no,
Yep,
no.
yep, yep.
Chicadi? I'm not, yeah. Giga.
Nathan Wood versus Daniel Pineda.
Name is familiar.
You got Muhammad Makhachev versus Manel Kate. Bro, this
That's
is a
your boy.
great card, bro. Molly McCann's on it. Obviously it's
Yeah,
packed
yeah.
with UK fighters, but this is a great
Right.
card. Great card for the for Manchester. UFC 304. Looking forward to that one. So there was some breaking news there.
Massive. Damn.
The other breaking news, there was something else that came up. What was the other thing that came up? Trying to remember.
Did you see the Paige Van Zandt fight?
Paige
Or hear about it?
I didn't see the fight,
No.
but I saw highlights. She had a boxing fight, right? And it was a draw, and she knocked
Yeah.
her. She got knocked down. She's a fighter. Like, no, well, put her in any atmosphere environment, she'll fight. But there's like and you know, obviously she's stunning and whatnot. And I don't want to say that's what got her popular, but I think her name's out there because of that element. But like, if you look deep in, she's a fighter, bro. Bare knuckle, MMA, box, whatever, man. She'll do it, man. She's got the heart of a fighter. It's just a shame that how do I say this without trying to sound like her skill set is just unfortunately not
Enough.
that
The highest
higher
level.
echelon. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. Like, but she's a fighter, man. You got to respect that about her, man. Absolutely amazing. Like, she doesn't. Why would she want to take damage on her face when she obviously can make millions or whatever, loads of money off selling her face, and she does her own modeling and whatever, right? She does. It's just like you're damaging the pot, but she's a fight. I think she's not even thinking about it. Yeah, but I don't think she's thinking like, I'm a fighter, man, and she is. I respect her about that, man. I really do. She has that fighter's mentality.
Definitely. And without going too much into like her backstory and whatnot, where she came from, what happened, and then to come and do this. And yeah, like she's a tough one. Yeah, tough one.
The other breaking
Tremendous.
news I was thinking about was
Yeah.
Joaquin Buckley, man. He's no, not Joaquin Buckley. Who's Mr. Muay Thai, man? Light heavyweight.
Khalil Roundtree.
Khalil Roundtree, 2-year suspension, right? Was it 2 years? I swear I said 2 years. I don't want to speak too soon because of you know, I think they do a second test, and then you got to wait till that or something like that. But I'm pretty sure I saw it was a 2
he
year.
was meant to go on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read 2 year suspension, based on a banned substance.
Because he was meant to fight Jamal Hill. Right?
Yes.
He was meant to fight Jamal Hill. And then Jamal Hill is fighting some other guy, Christina or something. I don't know what his name is, but somebody else. I thought it was it had passed and he's cleared, no?
That I don't know. That I thought.
Okay.
I could be, you know, maybe I'm not updated with the news, man. Let me have I'm not updated with what might have happened, but
like most of the time, I get my news from good old P son. Most of the time, and he's on the beat. But I missed out most of this week, so I'm not sure. But I'm sure I saw that he had been cleared, or it was not. He owned up to something early, even though they hadn't gone through the process yet, and that's what had happened. And I thought, okay, maybe it's a mistake.
okay, all right. I'm just reading. Okay. I'm reading something now. It says 2 months. Sorry, it goes 2 months. Roundtree was suspended just 2 months as a result of the positive test of a anabolic steroid, DHEA, UFC anti-doping program. So 2 months. So I think maybe they're going to do another test or something before whatever.
Right.
That's maybe. Listen, man. I mean, I don't see Roundtree as that type of person, so I reckon maybe it's just a tainted supplement or something, you know?
Yeah, because 2 months, you know,
Maybe
like
the 2 months they
yeah,
just do the investigation, right? Like we'll test you again, we'll test your supplements to make sure there was nothing tainted. You know what I mean? Like that sort of stuff.
uh,
So they'll use
yeah.
that, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was that was a shocker. What else?
That's all I had.
Ah, you don't, you haven't heard the other one.
Which one?
MVP
Oh yes, Ian Gary. Yes,
versus
yes, yes,
Ian
yes.
Gary.
And
Wow,
that's the McGregor card, right? That's 303. So soon. It's another fun fight for that damn card,
that's
which is
gonna
a
be
great card.
ridiculous.
That's at the
Wow,
end of
I want
June.
end of June. I wonder what they offered Ian Gary because he was so against the idea initially. Remember?
Oh yes, you're right. It was.
That's why when I saw it, I was like, I had to get all the sleep out of my eyes.
It's a fun freaking
Yeah.
fight. Again, that pumps up that 303 card, even though you don't need to. I mean, yes, you do actually. You shouldn't just rely on McGregor, even though he's going to sell all the pay-per-views in the world. But like to make it a really fun, amazing card, it's just fun. Makes the card even better.
Oh yeah. And think about it. You've got Connor, which is the leader of the Irish MMA movement, right? And then you've got Ian Gary, who is like the next, well, kind of proposed next in line to take on that mantle on the same card. It's huge,
Yeah. Just trying to pull up the
especially if
card,
it's
but the
going to
UFC
win.
site's not working.
Huh? It's not
No,
it's not working.
yeah, the UFC site's not loading it anyway. But yeah, no, but that's a great fight. I'm listen, man. I'm an MVP. I'm MVP V Pat there. MVP fan. And I want him to win. I want him to win. I want to see him in the upper echelon of that division. MVP is awesome. Um yeah, that's a great
Next one.
fight, bro. It's a great fight.
Next one.
Go on.
John Jones it appears to be not wanting to fight Aspinall. What do you think about that?
Why would he want to? I mean, I think he's still waiting for that Stipe fight, which is interesting.
Right. Right. Like what do you think that is about? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Not anymore. Why wait for Stipe for so long? Like, why
Right.
is that good?
And
Yeah,
he's
let that
good.
go.
He's good, allegedly. He's healed. Right. So he's ready. He could, but he's just like, nope, Stipe. Or he's calling out Pereira. Like, why? Not Aspinall. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
It's
want to
weird,
make
huh?
any
This is weird.
false. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Weird.
Yeah, I
Weird.
don't know, man.
It's weird.
Yeah, like who said it? Who's someone? I saw it on a headline. I didn't watch the video. Someone was saying John Jones is scared of Aspinall. I'm like, let's not throw those things. John Jones is scared. And that's the most stupidest like thing you could say. So like that's silly. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's a
It's weird.
strategy there. Maybe there's a strategy of let me just get my win over Stipe and call it quits and be the greatest of all time because he is. Uh, I don't know. I don't know.
I just thought I'd throw that at you, but yeah, I thought it was weird because
Yeah.
that's what should be next right now.
If
But
Stipe and him's not happening, then yes, yeah, make that next. Make that next. But I think Aspinall, yeah, well, Aspinall's fighting now anyway, so he doesn't have to
that's
fight
what I
John Jones.
mean.
So it's done.
Literally, yeah, they literally just moved it on, and I think yeah, he's kind of calling for Jones to be stripped and him to be the undisputed.
Mm,
What do you think of
John
that?
Jones is a legend. John Jones is Hall of Fame. John Jones is pound for pound great. John Jones is the greatest of all
Not
time.
happening.
I don't think you can
Not
start saying,
happening.
strip him and da, da, da. Nah, let John
Not
Jones
happening.
finish on top, man. I want John Jones to finish on top. Like, I think because John Jones is getting what 30, late 30s now. Like,
Yeah,
if John Jones could just get that one more heavyweight against Stipe and then call it quits. I mean, he goes down as two-time champion, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
can't argue with that.
there's a strategy there as well. I think John Jones is
Yeah, can't argue with that. I feel
yeah.
like higher level logic, right, without criticism or judgment, is like, wait a minute, it's his life. right? He's sacrificed way more than we have in the gym than that. Let him do what the fuck he wants.
Yeah,
But you're
he's
gonna
a
have people
legend.
just like
Yeah,
people are gonna be like, ah, yeah, he's a
yeah.
legend.
Well, he's a
But
legend. He
anyway,
goes down. He goes down as the greatest of all time. Yeah. All right. Well, look, bro, I've got pinged. I just got pinged by Google to say
you
you've
got
got
pinged.
got a call coming up. So anyway,
Damn,
man.
I was gonna ask you about Ronda, but go on.
Nah, let's not talk about Wanda. I'm joking. No, what's up? What's up with Wanda? I mean, I don't know why she's back in the news. She's not. She's done. Like, let her. You know, what's wrong with her?
Nothing wrong with her. It's just there was talk about people saying who she really was backstage in the
Oh, I
UFC.
see. I
That
see.
she's
Oh,
not a very friendly, nice person. As a genuine human being, she's one of those ones like,
hmm.
oh, I was
I
like, ooh.
see. Well, it
Like
is what it is. Hey,
Ellen DeGeneres type of character.
yeah. Well, in this game, she got humbled. You know what I mean? Like Holly Holm humbled her. That's that. You know. So if that's the case, so be it. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta you. In my opinion, it's like, all right. Well, if that was the case, then she got humbled by Holly Holmes. Like, take that and let it be.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well, bro,
yeah.
listen, man, I do have to cut it there. But it's good to catch up, man. I know we were out for a while. It's good to catch up. Let's try and do the fighters talk, what you call it, watch along for this UFC. That'll
Watch
be
along, yeah.
we'll talk during the week and make that happen. Always good to catch up, bro. Guys, everyone, thanks for watching and appreciate again the love, the the response that we get. Appreciate that you guys support what we do. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
All right, peace.